Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey, TGIF. Hello, my friends. Hope that you are having an amazing week. If not, guess what? You can turn it around right now. Thank you for tuning into the Child Care Director's Chair podcast. If you don't know who I am Erica Sacoccio, your host for the day, lover of all things and all people, and super excited to be here with you today. I want to ask you a question. Do you really know who you are? Not the version that you show up at work with, not the director, not the teacher, not the problem solver, not the wife, not the dad, not the mother, brother, sister, or whatever other title you have. I mean the person behind the title. Because here's the truth. You can't lead others well if you don't first understand yourself. And in childcare, where every decision, every tone, every interaction matters. Being self-aware isn't just something that is nice to have as a leadership quality. It's the foundation of everything. And today we're talking about what it means to truly be self-aware, to have a clear sense of direction, and to understand your motives, your triggers, and your passions, and how that clarity helps you lead with heart, connection that's deeper, and helps you grow stronger. John Maxwell once said, you have to know who you are to grow your potential, but you have to grow in order to know who you are. And that line changed the way I look at leadership, because it's a lifelong loop of discovery and growth. For so long, I thought leadership was about getting things done, checking off the boxes, but self-awareness made me realize leadership isn't just about what you do. It's who you are becoming while you're doing it. So let me ask you this. Who are you right now? Are you leading from confidence or from exhaustion? Are you leading with purpose, or are you just surviving the week? When you look in the mirror, not at your to-do list, not at your title, do you like what you see? The most effective leaders that I've met are not the loudest or even the most experienced, but they are certainly the most self-aware. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and they don't pretend to be anyone else. Here's where it gets real. Have you ever stopped to think why you make the decisions that you do? Why certain things trigger you the way that they do? Or why you react to stress in a certain way? Or why certain people frustrate you faster than others? That's part of being self-aware too. Self-awareness isn't just knowing what you like. It's understanding what drives you and what derails you. For example, maybe you jump in to fix problems because you want to be helpful, but deep down, you struggle to delegate because you equate asking for help as weakness. Or maybe you overcommit because you crave approval, even though it burns you out. Does this sound familiar? Well, that's where awareness becomes your superpower, because once you name it, you can change it. So let's shift gears. What brings you joy? And not just joy as a buzzword, as people skipping down the road throwing flowers, but true, fulfilling, heart-lifting joy. Think about the moments in your day that make you forget to check your phone. What are you doing when time seems to just fly by? Is it reading to the children? Is it supporting a teacher through a challenge? Or designing a new classroom space? Gosh, I love that. I just did that a couple of days ago. Moved the entire classroom around. I love designing spaces for children. Now, What if you built more of that into your day? Because too many leaders spend 90% of their time doing what drains them, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Yes, we all have to handle the tough parts of the job, but what if you could shift just 10% of your week toward the things that make you feel most alive? That's where growth starts, and that's where fulfillment begins. So, here's something I've learned: self awareness often shows up in patterns. Pay attention and to repeat those moments, the same conflicts, the same frustrations, the same, why does this always happen to me moments? Because patterns reveal lessons that you haven't learned yet. So ask yourself, what situations keep repeating in my life or at work? What role are you playing in that pattern? And what do you need to change? Whether it's your boundaries, whether it's your mindset, or maybe just your approach. The more you reflect, the more you'll see. And you'll see those repeating lessons. They're not punishments, but they're invitations to grow. You can't have direction without reflection. And self awareness is like holding a compass, but you can't read it if you're constantly running around. So pause, ask yourself, do I like what I'm doing right now? What would I like to do? Can I do what I like to do? Do I even know what to do if I wanted to do it? And here's a big one: do I know what to do so I can do what I want to do? I know that's a bit of a brain twister, but clarity doesn't have to come with having all the answers, but it does come from asking better questions. So let's talk about emotional awareness for a moment, because in childcare, emotions are everywhere. Kids are feeling very deeply about things. They learn emotional regulation by watching us. If you're always rushing around, you're anxious, you're overwhelmed, they're going to pick up on that instantly. So, as leaders, we have to constantly check in with ourselves and ask yourself, how am I showing up today? Am I bringing calm or am I bringing the chaos? Am I leading with love or from frustration? Because your emotional state sets the tone for your classroom, for your team, and even the families you interact with. And self aware leaders create emotionally safe spaces, not just for others, but for themselves too. So, how do we actually build self awareness? Well, here's a simple strategy I love. I call it the 3R reflection routine. Recognize what's working, like what made you feel proud this week. Release what's not, what drained your energy or pulled you off track. And then refocus. What one thing would you do differently next week? If you did that every Friday for just 5 minutes, you'd be amazed at the growth that you would see in 3 months. So here's what I want you to remember: self awareness is not a one time lesson, it's a daily practice. If you want to grow your potential, you have to know who you are. But as John Maxwell reminds us, you also have to grow in order to know who you are. So start today. Pay attention to your patterns, do more of what brings you joy, and give yourself permission to evolve. Because the best leaders aren't the ones who have all the answers, they're the ones who are brave enough to ask the right questions. So, my friend, do you have a sense of direction? Are you leading from awareness or from autopilot? Because life is happening right now, and the children, the families, and the staff around you deserve the best version of you. So, if this episode has lit a fire in you and you're ready to dig in deeper into who you are as a leader and grow with intention, come join me in a circle of amazing educators inside our Trailblazer community. It costs you nothing but your time to come see what we're about. No sales pitches, no pressure, just real talk, real growth, and a group of passionate leaders who are doing the work together. So click the link below, hit join, and use the code LAUNCH for your first month for free. You owe it to yourself to grow, not just for your career, but for your life. So let's get intentional. Let's be self aware and unstoppable together. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.